y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Chantel here. If you're just seeing me for the first time and if you like what you see already, please do well to subscribe and also turn on your bell icon so you're notified each time I put up content on here. Without wasting much of your time, let's just dive into today's video. Just a little recap of my last content on here. It was a video with my mom where she did my makeup, and if you haven't watched it, I'll leave it in the card and also a little snippet on the screen so you can see what it's about. Okay, today's video is actually the first time tag. Guys, I've watched a lot of those videos and all of them just cracked me up. The last one I watched was that of Diary of an Abuja Mom, and it was so hilarious. So I'm going to jump on that bandwagon today and just answer the questions. I already downloaded them from the internet. There's a template, there's a generic question for that tag, so I'll be answering them one by one and letting you all know my first time doing a lot of things. I have them on my phone and I've screenshotted it, so let me start. The first question is, first app you check when you wake up in the morning. The first app I check when I wake up in the morning is actually YouTube, guys. It's actually YouTube, my YouTube studio. So every time I wake up in the morning, I want to see how many subscribers I've gained, how many, if I put up a video a night prior to that morning, how many views it has gotten, how many new comments I've gotten, because I like to reply to all my comments. If you're returning on this channel, you can attest to that. I reply to all my comments. So the first app I check when I wake up in the morning is YouTube studio. That is YouTube. First broken bone. I've never had a broken bone, guys. I'm not a rough girl. I don't know how to play rough, but when I was growing up, yeah, because I have 3 older brothers, I used to be very rough for. Later I came into my own as a girl, and ever since I've just been, please, no rough play for me at all. First foreign country you ever visited? I believe the UK. Yes, that's like the first foreign country I ever visited. First Instagram, Twitter or Facebook post. Oh, first Instagram, Twitter or Facebook post. I cannot remember my first Instagram post, neither can I remember my first Facebook post, but I will go on my Twitter now and search for my first post and maybe leave it on the screen during editing. But if that doesn't happen, then I can't remember. It's been a long time, guys. It's been a long time, and on my Instagram I delete pictures here and there, so I can't remember, trust me. First makeup item. I believe my first makeup item was Island Beauty lipstick. You guys, that was the first makeup item I got. I want to say in general, I feel like my first makeup item was a clear lip gloss, but for me, that's not makeup. So the first makeup item that when I wore it, you see that I have something on my lip, was Island Beauty lipstick in peach. I think that was that color. Anybody that knows Island Beauty, let me know in the comment section. That was the first what they call it, makeup item I purchased with my money, and I believe it was while in uni. I remember the supermarket I got it from. It's called Excellent Supermarket on Rumola Road. It's still there till now. First plane ride you ever went on? I can't remember. I think my first plane ride would have been when I was a baby, because we used to travel a lot back then. First time I ever got into trouble at home and school. I can't remember the first time I ever got into trouble at home because I wasn't stubborn. You guys, I have 3 elder brothers, so they take the cake for that. They are like the ones that do things. Me, I'm always on my own. I'm the girl. I'm very girly. But in school, I remember my first, they brought lights. You guys, I was filming with natural light now, and they brought light. Oh well, thank God. So my first trouble I ever got in at school was, I can't remember. I used to get into a lot of trouble, but the one that they called my father and reported was, oh yeah, I did a story time on it when I caused a riot in school. That was that one. That was like the first big trouble I can remember. You guys, I'll leave it in the cards. It's on my channel. And yes, let me even say something about that story time. I made a mistake. My friend Ijama later called me and she's like, Kelechi, you made a mistake. They did not pour poo-poo. That poo-poo was the first set of students in the world that had that crisis. That ours was what they call a plastic chair that they threw at us. So if you're watching that video, just erase that part I said poo-poo and replace it with chairs. Yeah, and if you've watched it before, that's it. So the next question is, first time you were allowed to put on makeup. My mom has never been the strict person. My dad too. They've never been strict about things like that, but on my own, I decided to wear makeup for the first time In uni, I think full face of makeup, besides those ones that we do in secondary school that we put what they call it, tira on our eyes, but full face of makeup was in university actually. First YouTuber you subscribe to, I can't remember for the life of me right now. I cannot, but I believe it has to be maybe Dima or me or so, because I know that I started watching her way back when she's had a blog, when she was still that Igbo chick, and I really do not know a lot about YouTube. Also, Desi Perkins on YouTube too. I think those two. First time I went shopping on my own. The first time I went shopping on my own, I can't remember the date or the time, but I know that I was in uni. I used to always crave to go shopping on my own. When my mom wants to get me things, she'll follow me, like chaperone me, my dad too. That thing used to pain me so much, but when I got into uni, I had the opportunity to go shopping on my own, even though now I believe that most of those things I got were rubbish, but at least I went on my own. The 11th question is my first boyfriend or girlfriend. My first boyfriend, I can't. Oh, I think my first boyfriend was somebody out of when he was in my secondary school, but after secondary school, that's when we now became boyfriend and girlfriend. But it was so short-lived, very short-lived, that we just went our separate ways. But I think that was my first boyfriend. Yeah, he even said he was going to marry me. Look at us now. My first car was a Montero Sports. That was my first car. Yeah. My first celebrity crush. I can't remember. I'm not a starstruck type of person. I can't remember, but I know that my current celebrity crush is Roman Reigns. Yeah. My first cooking experience. I can remember this one very well. Back then, I stayed with my dad, and my dad went out, so I said I'll do something amazing for him when he comes back. There was everything. We had all the ingredients in the house, and I made egusi soup. That's my dad's favorite soup. Even though it was watery, the egusi was on top, the ingredients were under, the oil was floating. He still ate it with so much joy, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, my daughter." He ate it, and I felt so good. That was just a very good gesture from my dad. But yeah, that was my first cooking experience. I think I was in JS too, also. First crush. Oh yeah, I can remember my first crush. My first crush is in one of my dating disaster story. That one that followed me to the supermarket and took bread. That was my first crush. Like, that was the first person that I crushed on, and I let every other person in on it. Like, I made it public. I'm like, oh, I like this person. No, he's fine. Oh yeah. Well, it's not my crush again. Right now, I don't even care, in case you're wondering. My first ever boyfriend. Is that not the same thing as my first BF or GF? I already answered that. My first ever cell phone. I can't remember the name, but I know that it was a red Nokia that had rhinestone on top of it. My mom got it for me, and it was a flip-up phone. I'll Google it, and if I can see it, I'll leave it on the screen. Yeah. My first ever date. You guys, I'm so bad with dates. So I know that this my first time tag, I don't know if it's going to be for me, because I'm very bad with remembering things. If it was my friend Uche can tell you what you ate when you were 1.5 years old. That's how it is with that type of person. My first ever date, I can't remember. I've gone on numerous dates that I can't remember. My first ever girlfriend. Is it just your friend? If it's just your friend, I feel like my first ever female friend will have to be Ugone Okoro, because our parents were friends. Our parents are still friends. So Ugone, what's her surname now? No, but she's married to I remember the surname, but I can't just I can't remember it now. She's married now, but her maiden name is Ugone Heman Okoro. That has to be my first friend. She's like my longest friend ever. Even though we've not talked for so long, like, things happen. But yeah, that has to be my first friend, my first ever girlfriend. My first ever kiss should be in uni. You guys, I started late in life. My first ever kiss was in uni. I did not kiss anybody in secondary school. My first ever kiss was in uni. My first fear is still my current fear, and that is the fear of reptiles. Anything that looks like a reptile, from I don't know what they call it, but I know the Igbo name. Ari, that small one, to snake, to lizard, is lizard a reptile? I don't know. To crocodile, to anything reptile. That is my current and my first fear. I hate it so much. Another thing I have the fear of is the fear of heights, but I'm trying to let go of that a bit now, although I'm not there yet. My first friend in college. My first friend in college was also my friend in secondary school, so I won't count that as my first friend in college. But the first person I met in college that we became friends, I could see her for the first time, that was when I was in college, is Uchonya, and she's my best friend now. So she was the first person I made friends with. I met her through that my friend that we were friends in college. Peace, Baridoma. So Uche was my first friend in college, in case you're wondering how we met. See, I'm blushing talking about Uche. Yeah. But yeah, Uche was my first friend in college. My first heartbreak. My first heartbreak was actually recent though. Say last year, late last year. I cried so much. I don't even know how I was crying because I saw it coming. But yeah, that was my first heartbreak. Only Uche, Ivy, and yeah, I think those are the two people that know about this, because it was a very good time in my life, very short-lived, but and I won't say it was a relation. It was short. Let me not even delve so deep into that. But that was my first heartbreak. I saw it coming, but I still put my head inside. My first internet activity. My first internet activity will have to be opening an email account. I can remember the email address, Lil Kelly for real at yahoo.com. Remember when we were growing up, everybody's email address had for something. Some people say for show, and everybody's email address had Lil. So mine was Lil Kelly. That's little Kelly. Kelly for Kilichi, Kelly girl for real. In case you are mistaken, I'm the real one. At yahoo.com. My first job was my IT job. I did my IT in Nigerian Ports Authority when I was in year 3. That was my first ever paid job, and it was such an experience. I really enjoyed it. My first language will have to be English, and it has always been English. Even Igbo is not my first language because I'm not so good at speaking, but I hear a lot. So my first language is English. My first love is, who was my first love would be my first boyfriend. Yeah, the short-lived one. Right now, I don't know if to call it love or it was infatuation, but I would just give it to the person. My first pet was Shaggy. Thinking about it now, yeah, I just realized that all the dogs we had growing up were either Ruby or Shaggy. No, Ruby or Ben and Ruby. So anytime this set of Ben and Ruby die, my dad buys another one, Ben and Ruby. So my first pets were Ben and Ruby, Alsatian dogs. I've always grown with dogs. Like, I love dogs a lot. I'm obsessed with them. Sean right now is like my child. So yeah. My first piercing, and when did I get it? That's the 30th question. My first piercing was when I was born. In Nigeria, once you're a girl child and they give birth to you, they pierce one hole for you. Then my second piercing was one of the girls I used to stay with us. She pierced my second hole. Then my third one, I vlogged about it, was when I went to the salon. Tochi, the guy that makes my hair, pierced my third and fourth hole. Right now I have 4 on this ear and 2 on this ear. I couldn't pierce 2 other ones here. Oh yeah, I pierced one up here one time at the cheek salon in Orazi, but it closed because it was so hard to heal. Like the pain. I'm not even doing that again. First sexual experience. Because I'm allergic to this question. Next question. I'm not answering this in case you wanted to know. Mba. I'm not answering it. My first swear word will have to be shit. And I still say it till now. I'd rather say shit than say FK. You know what? Yeah, so that's my first swear word. My first tattoo, guys, I don't have a tattoo. I'm clean as a slate. I'm very clean. I was at the verge of getting a tattoo in Southampton. Like, I was almost entering the store. But I just went by saying, let me not regret it 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. My first thought today was cleaning my mom's room. Like, I woke up, I slept with that thought. I said I have to wake up early and do a total overhaul of my mom's room, and I did that before filming this video. Good daughter. Yeah. My first time on a plane, I can't remember because I would have been a baby, but after that, I think I was entering when I was in my UPS. I'm back. I had to plug it to NEPA. So yeah, my first time on the plane, I can't remember, but I think when I was in primary school, I can remember that because we used to stay in Lagos and we're always going back and forth between Lagos and Port Harcourt. My first time on a ship will have to be when one ship was in Port Harcourt, MPA. My mom used to work in MPA, so that's how I got my MPA job and all of that. So there was one ship that came to Nigeria. I don't know, it was going to different countries, and it stopped in Port Harcourt. That was my first time on a ship. I can't remember the ship, but it's a very popular one. I'll ask my mom, and if she can remember, I'll leave it on the screen. First time on a train. My first train experience was from Port Harcourt to Enugu. My dad bought a ticket for my uncle and I, Uncle Sonny, and he took me to Enugu to go see my grandpa, because my grandpa used to stay in Enugu before he died. So yeah, that was my first train experience, and it was so good, guys. Leave that train as scattered now. Back then, it was so good. We were in first class. We had food. They served us food, drinks. It was really, really nice. It was a very nice experience. Let me not lie. My first toy, I can't remember my first toy. I'm sure I had it when I was a baby. My first tweet, I will look for that and leave on the screen if I can find it. My first YouTube video, it's still up, guys. I did a makeup tutorial of a smoky eye. I think I should recreate that video right now, because everything has changed. My lighting has changed, my sound has changed, my equipment has changed, my makeup game has improved over time. So I think I should recreate that. If you want me to do that, give this video a thumbs up and also let me know in the comments. My first YouTube video, I'll leave in the cards so people can go and see me. My first my online profile picture, I believe this should be my first online profile picture. I can't remember. It has to be on Facebook, and I'm no longer on Facebook. I've deleted my account. The first book I remember reading, the first book I remember reading has got to be encyclopedias. My dad used to get a lot of that, and I was into them a lot. We had like an array of encyclopedias, from science to fashion to different things, to solar system, how all these things emanated, different things, yeah, to dictionary. So I used to go through the library and read a lot of encyclopedias. So I believe that those were the first books I remember reading. The first concert I ever attended, that has got to be my brother. You guys, my brother is a musician. So yeah, I feel like his concert has got to be my first concert that I attended. Aside that, it would be Crack Your Ribs and all these ones that they do in uni. But when I was in uni, I never used to attend all these things. The first movie I remember seeing, I can't remember if it was my first movie, because I don't know what I would have seen as a baby. But in my conscious state, like things I can remember, I believe that my first movie was Living in Bondage. The first person I talked to today, to be my mother, because I woke up and I greeted her, "Mommy, good morning." But if it has to do with someone you talk to first on the phone, then it has to be B. The first person that ever broke my heart, I cannot call your name because you broke my heart. We are not friends. Even though I'm better now, but why should I call the person's name? There's no need. I'm allergic to this question too. First person you text when something exciting happens. The first person I text when something exciting happens is the whole world. But I'm trying to curtail that part of me right now. I've changed. I've really, really improved compared to me of 3 months ago. But right now, if something exciting happens, Uche has got to be my go-to. The first text I sent today, I haven't sent any text. Okay, it has to be WhatsApp, and that was to my brother Uche. I saw his WhatsApp status, and he went shopping for the things he wore in the WhatsApp status yesterday, and he showed me. So I was telling him, why did you open up the shirt now? The denim jacket, why did you wear the shirt inside and button the denim jacket? So I believe that was my first text. Abi, was it to Obina, my other brother? I think it was to Obina. Obina sent me a message yesterday and I responded this morning. Yeah, it was to Obina, sorry. First thing I do every morning. There are two types of things I do, either on the weekends or on weekdays. I'm going to break it down. On weekdays rather, the first thing I do every morning is to turn on my bloody alarm that rings at 5:15 a.m. because of exercise. So after turning that off, I'll now say my prayers. Yeah. Then on weekends, because my alarm is not turned on, the first thing I do is to say my prayer. I will be sleeping self, like I'll still be in that sleep mode, but I'm praying. So there are two things I do. On weekdays, the first thing I do is to turn off my alarm. On weekends, the first thing I do is to pray. The first thing I do when I get home, is to wash my hands, actually. Ever since Ebola time, let me not say Koro, because I started washing my hands before now, is to wash my hands. The first time you ever get drunk, Chineke. The first time I ever got drunk, guys, the first time I ever got drunk was in university. I can still remember that episode very well. How I was drunk and screaming somebody's name. I want to see this person. I want to see this person. Uche can attest to it. She even reminded me of it like last month. So yeah, that was my first drunk experience, and I never want to be that person again. Like being drunk, just I don't know. I don't like the feeling, the aftermath of it, the headache that comes with. I don't just love it at all. The first wedding I attended, I can't remember. I'm sure my parents would have dragged me to wedding as a baby, not drag literally, but carried me to weddings as a baby. But the one I can remember is that of my uncle, my mom's brother, Uncle Eugene. I was the little bride for his wedding. Fun fact, yeah, I used to always be little bride for people while growing up. Like I was so pretty, I was such a pretty baby. So people would always book me for little bridesmaid. They'll buy me clothes, buy me socks, buy me hair, this thing, buy me everything. It's not now that when you want to do little bride or bridesmaid for somebody, you'll be paying money. Back then, they do everything for you. When did you go to your first party? I can't remember. I'm sure as a baby, but aside that, I remember one that my dad took my brothers and I to, and I won chair dance. And I can remember what I won. It was a necklace set, blue, with earring and bangle. When did you have your first sleepover? My first sleepover would have to be Ugone, their house, when we were younger. Yes, I used to sleep at Ugone's house. I love Ugone's mom so much. Auntie Chinwe, she just treats everybody like you're her own. She'll buy things for me, shop for me. When I come to there, I was like, Kelly, I bought you this thing. I love Auntie Chinwe. Like in this life, the person that, one of the people that eats my money, this money should not come, is Auntie Chinwe. So yeah, my first sleepover has to be at Ugone's. There's another one, but I did not screenshot it well, so we'll let go of that and move on. Yeah, that's the end of today's video. Did you enjoy watching it? Let me know in the comments, and also give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe and also click on the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I'll be sure to see you in my next one. Bye.